What is love? Oh, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. This is how I feel like nowadays when you watch the USMNT play football. I wasn't even planning on making a video about the CONCACAF Nations League, maybe a recap of the entire tournament talking about Panama, USA, Mexico, and Canada. So this is kind of like an emergency video. I'm slowly losing hope. And I mean, not even just hope. I'm almost borderline just giving up on this federation and this national team. I'm 99.9999% done. You lose to Panama again. We're going to talk about Panama. We're going to talk about the USA. We're going to talk about Mexico. And we're going to talk about Canada. Today's video, just a quick recap of the games that happened last night because we got some talking points, people. It's vitally important, these two games. One, for Panama to show that they are among the big boys. And two, all the three hosts for next year's World Cup. So the first game that happened, Panama es papá de Estados Unidos. I'm you know what? Change of wardrobe. This is a team that fight for their nation. This is a team that have an identity. This is a team with Christensen that is a genius right now. Like, Christensen get a statue, being named president of Panama, because what he is doing consistently against the USA in the Copa America, just getting results, and Panama are just having the best years of their football in their history. Obviously, they qualified for the World Cup in 2018, but they're beating the USA, not even in Panama. Okay, if you go to Panama City and you lose, hostile environment can be difficult. No, they're beating them in the United States. Panama, I don't know if they have states in Panama. Maybe they have provinces. The United States now is the 16th province of Panama. Because they did it again. Because Panama did it again, people. With no Andrade, with no Murillo, missing a couple of their defenders, they still got the result. I don't care about, they were being defensive. Michael, they only had one shot on target. Do you think that's Panama's problem? Do you think that's their problem? I don't care. I saw Kuwait have 2 shots or 3 shots on target yesterday, go 2-0 up against Iraq, and almost won the game because they were good defensively, mixed with some good goalkeeping, and were clinical up front. And all Panama needed was just that one chance. A little bit of lapse in concentration in the US back line. And Cecilio Water, and I mean, what a moment for him to go celebrate with his idol Thierry Henry. And Thierry Henry's like, what the heck is going on here? I think Titi was like, are you okay, dude? But then you saw the interview afterwards. Such a beautiful moment. This is why I love football, people, because Cecilio Waterman probably never thought in his dreams he would meet Thierry Henry, let alone score the winner in the 94th minute, hug him, and yell in his face, "Eres mi ídolo." Football is the greatest sport in the world. And now I pray that Panama win this Nations League, because if they do that, Christensen, lifetime contract, become president of Panama, the work he just tactically outclassed Poch yesterday. I watched the games this morning. I rewatched both games. The way he just outclassed, all he did was just compact the midfield, force the USA out wide, and they couldn't do anything with it. Crosses, nothing, really. So, got to give massive shout out to Cordoba, Mosquera in goal, even though he didn't really make any crazy saves. Harvey, Farina, the defenders, did an incredible job. And the fact there's no Murillo, there's no Andrade. Fallardo is not a good striker for this Panama team. But Cecilio Waterman makes the difference. Coco Kariski, of course, with the assist. So, congrats to Panama, man. They deserve it because they are a footballing nation that want to punch above their weight. They know their identity. They know how to prepare against the big teams like a USA, a Mexico, a Canada, and they're consistently going toe-to-toe. Yes, they don't have the quality maybe to sustain it for a long period of time, but they have an identity, and that's down to Christensen. The dude is a genius. Genius. So, congrats to Panama. They deserve it. They go through. I have no complaints. As a USMNT fan, I have no complaints. Because these guys, I mean, if you're a USA fan, like, what at this point is the excuse? We blame Greg, okay? I don't want to hear, was Greg really this bad? Yeah, he was this bad. He was atrocious as well. The players, they got to take accountability. Poch, I don't know what he is doing with the lineup. Okay, you want to start Testament, McKinney, and Tyler Adams in the midfield. It should be Tyler Adams, Weston McKinney, Giovanni Reina in the 10. If you know that Panama don't want the ball, you need a creative outlet in the middle because they're going to just force you out. So then you have to get good combination play between a Josh Sargent, a Giovanni Reina, and try and break them down the middle. They didn't do that. Poch, I don't know what his tactics were. You can talk about the selection. You can talk about the injuries. Panama are missing players. There's no excuse for this. If Panama are missing players, then you have to step up as well. You have the quality. So you got to look at everybody now. You look at the federation, you look at the players, you look at the manager talking about, oh, we can win the World Cup in 5 to 10 years, or we could be the best team in the world in 5 to 10 years. What? Bro, I don't know what's in the mate. Probably like drinkable weed or something. Fix up, Poch. Fix up, players, because you guys are not helping yourselves out. You want to talk about, okay, we're going to do well at the World Cup. This was really the last chance for me. Okay, the friendlies haven't gone well. The January camp, don't even count that. Here, prove yourselves mean business heading into next year in the World Cup. And they said, oh, you thought it was bad. Wait for this. You allow Panama in 3 straight major competitions, knock you out. Gold Cup, Copa America, Nations League. Really? Really? The only player I'm like, hey, you know what? You had a good game. Tyler Adams. That's it. Like, I feel bad for Pulisic because they give him the ball and then everybody's just standing at Pulisic and thinking to themselves, oh my God, that's Messi. That's the LeBron James of soccer. No, it isn't. It isn't. You cannot just rely on one guy beating 2 to 3 man and saying to yourselves, okay, here's our opportunity. There has to be better. Like, you know Panama are just going to sit in a low block. The first thing you need is intensity. Where we see the USA are trying to be a European team. They're trying to play slow, technical football. No, there's no directness with this side. They're just like, yeah, we're just going to play our slow pace football. Nothing's going to happen. I'm sick and tired. There has to be a wake up after this mess. If there isn't, then the USA are going to get grouped to the World Cup. They will lose. Here's some teams that will beat the USA right now. Oh, Japan will demolish these guys. Even Paraguay will demolish the United States. Colombia, even though they're suffering right now, will demolish the United States. I can go to Turkey, I can go to Greece, I can go to Morocco, Ivory Coast, Egypt. All of these teams will beat the USA right now. And I watch all of these teams, people. Look at my channel. So I know that the USA are not even a top 20 team right now. With the way they are playing, there is so much to fix and so many questions, and there's only a year to go. For the second biggest World Cup in your history, the first one will always be the first one you hosted in 1994. This is the second biggest one. And this is the sort of preparation and the sort of playing style and the sort of desire you have for the national team. 2010 World Cup was a good team. It's not talent-wise better than this team, but on the field, look what they did in that Confederations Cup before. They beat the Spain team that were unbeaten, for 35, 36 games. Josie Altidore, Clint Dempsey, Landon Donovan, all these guys. Michael Bradley would walk into this midfield and show them how to play football. Yeah, Michael Bradley, the dude who played AS Roma and other clubs in Europe. He didn't have the best career club-wise. Obviously, was balling out in Toronto. You have Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, Tessman, all of these guys. Oh, look, they're playing in the Champions League. They're playing Serie A, Premier League. Doesn't matter. What do you do for the national team? And right now, yes, they've won all of these Nations Leagues before, but this is now an important one after the debacle of the Copa America. I'm worried, people. I'm worried. I'm really getting worried about where this is going to. What is the end goal here, people? How do you think this ends? Does this end with a group stage exit? Poch is paid $6 million a year and he's sacked after the World Cup. Is this how it's going to end? Probably. You know what? Shout out to Panama. They deserve it. Fire Kit here as well. They have some good players. They're just such a good team. Tactically, chemistry-wise, they just know what they're doing. They're prepared so well. It doesn't matter the opponent. Waited for their opportunity. They got it with Cecilio Waterman, and Panama move on to the final. The other game then saw Raul Jimenez just continue his fantastic form for El Tri in Mexico. Wow. I mean, this is an incredible story people were witnessing with Raul. A guy who had that horrific head injury. We thought, no, his career is done. Where he's never going to see the same Raul Jimenez, where he had a great season with Wolves, then the injury. But slowly but surely, and I think Marco Silva from Fulham has to take a lot of credit to give him an opportunity, give him the confidence. And we've seen Raul this season with Fulham balling out. And he's scored golazo after golazo for this Mexican team in recent windows. And he is by far their best player right now. And he's showing it every single game. Did Mexico play the best game? No, they didn't. I feel like they're still lacking going forward. But when you get a goal in the first minute, it calms the nerves. Then you can play your own game. And I think Javier Aguirre just wanted to sit back and completely frustrate this Canada team. And don't allow Canada space. If you can just nullify the speed and space from this Canada team, really, in possession, not the best. That's why Jesse Marsch heavily relies on that sort of high-pressing, quick counter-attacking football. When you can just eliminate that, you sit back in your own formation, frustrate them, and we know with Reyes, Edson Alvarez, Johan Vasquez, they got some good defenders, Mexico. So clearly you're seeing an identity more with Javier Aguirre compared to what we saw with Coca and all these guys. It's that Mexico, defensively, be strong, rely on one of those 2 goals from your star players, either Santi, even though Santi, I mean, he still hasn't gotten anything with Mexico, or Raul Jimenez. Then you got a chance here. I would have liked to see Chino Huerta start instead of Alexis Vega, because Chino Huerta has actually played pretty well with Anderlecht since making the move. But that midfield still, it needs plastic surgery, it needs BBL, it needs Botox, it needs everything, because it is not good. I don't even need to say the names. Charlie Rodriguez, Lira, they're not good enough players for Mexico. If they can improve, because I heard there's some good U20 players in the midfield for Mexico, play them. What else do we need to see from Charlie Rodriguez to realize, oh yeah, this guy's not good enough? If Mexico can just improve the midfield, they can have a good run at the World Cup. I'm not saying they're going to make it to the quarterfinal or anything like that. Maybe round of 16, but at least give yourself an opportunity. With the way Raul is playing right now, I mean, that free kick was just utterly ridiculous. Remember that golazo he scored against USA last year when it was October, November? Dude, this guy is like, he's got Puskas Award after Puskas Award in his locker at the moment. It wasn't the best performance for Mexico going forward, but defensively, this team is now getting stronger and stronger. But it's going to be fascinating to see how they play against Panama with more possession against Panama. Can they break them down? Do they have those sort of players? Do they need like maybe a Chino Huerta? Do they go more to a 4 in the back formation? Well, that's something we're going to find out in the final against Panama. And then for Canada, I'm a little bit shocked by this because I thought they were going to win this Nations League. With the way they performed the Copa America since then, you know, they beat Suriname in the Nations League. They've had some good results. I'm like, Canada, they're in form. This is your moment. This is your opportunity to finally win a trophy. Mexico, not in the best form. We still have a lot of question marks about them. USA missing players. And Panama. I was like, Canada, silver platter for you to win a trophy finally. They wet the bed. They didn't show up. And I think Jesse Marsch, tactically outcoached, didn't know how to break down this Mexico low block. Really, you're looking at Kyle Larin. I mean, this 2-striker formation can work when you're playing a counter-attacking style because either Kyle Larin or Jonathan David can drop deep and receive the ball. Then you have Alfonso Davis, Alistair Johnston making those runs in behind, or Ahmed as well. But when they're in possession, I feel like this Canada team do struggle if they go up against a very good defensive team. Mexico are a good defensive team, and Canada couldn't do anything. I mean, what sort of opportunities? Yeah, there was that one chance at the edge of the box for Jonathan David. I'm like, okay, there's your little open space to get a goal. Nothing. Second half, okay, there's that one opportunity for Tejan Buchanan. Doesn't really get his shot off. Good defending, great goalkeeper from Malagon. Canada, they just didn't show up on the day. And that's kind of frustrating because you expected Nations League, semifinal, opportunity to make a statement, to be the kings of CONCACAF. They didn't take that opportunity. And yeah, it wasn't a good performance at all from Canada. Don't really remember a lot of the good chances they created. Not good in possession, too slow. It needs to be better from Eustachio, Jonathan David, and these sort of players, Osorio. But Jesse Marsch, I think he's got to take some criticism for this matchup. Now, they got to beat USA though, because I cannot expect that Canada will lose back-to-back games in this Nations League. And for Mexico, yeah, they are the favorites now heading into that final against Panama. They can return to being kings and winning their first Nations League. They have not won a Nations League because the USA have won every single edition of it. So yeah, good performance. Defensively for Mexico, still some work to do, but I think that's actually a good thing. Mexico didn't have to play 100% to still beat this Canada team. So that's worrying signs if you're a Canadian fan. So there's the small recap, people, of the Nations League. I had to rant a little bit about the United States because they're just embarrassing. Shout out to Panama. Great game for Mexico. A little bit disappointing from Canada. We'll have sort of a full recap after the international window about all of these 4 teams, especially about the host, because they don't have a lot of competitive games left after this window. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Remember to follow me on all the socials. Links to those description down below. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time. Adios.